What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on my brother's K supercharged wagon here in the driveway in hopes of buttoning it up. Now, if you guys haven't seen the previous video, we built a new intake for my brother's car. The one that was on it was the simple 45 piece that I had lying around. It has been on the car since 2017. The reason for the new intake is because I wanted to step the size up, because the size of the intake does make a difference based off some of the dyno videos I've seen online. And we went from a 3 to a 3.5. Not fully 3.5, because the throttle body is still 70 millimeters, but 3 to a 3.5 should make some sort of gain. So if you guys haven't checked out that video, be sure to go back and watch it. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like button. But also in part of that video, we went to go pick up the S1 all-wheel drive header we dropped off to the homie Carlo at Let Me Code It to get Cerakote. This right here, S1 all-wheel drive header. If you guys are interested in the same header right here for your all-wheel drive Honda all-motor or supercharged or rear-wheel drive, be sure to hit the link in the description below. Get in contact with S1Built to get yourself one of these. But also big shout out to the homie Carlo for getting this Cerakote so quickly. Looks freaking awesome. Cerakoted all the way through, and I did request to leave the badge uncerakoted. I don't know if you guys can see, it still has tape on there, so the S1 badge is still going to be displayed. And today I'm hoping to get this put into the car. We're going to build the adapter to connect to the current exhaust system to get to the muffler shop to get the 3-inch upgrade. And I'm really hoping to button up the car today, because this thing is almost done, and I'm really curious to know all the changes we've done here on my brother's car and how much power we're going to make after the fact. So let's get to work. All right, let's get this header installed. It is kind of a tight fit, so hopefully we're not revving too hard here. Okay, where's my gasket? Here we go. This is going to take a little while to crank down the bolts because I don't have any space for a ratchet or a gear head. So I'm going to go ahead and just tighten those down. When are you going to go home? When are you going to go home? So if you guys been on the channel a while, you guys remember Garfield, the orange cat that came from the other side. And I actually haven't seen that cat in a minute. This one has a freaking collar on with a bell on it. My niece and nephew calls it Tinkerbell. Don't know where it came from. Appeared one day, never left, and made itself at home in the backyard. This cat has been around for about 2 months now, maybe, and it is the nicest cat I've ever been around. Hey, when are you gonna go home? I mean, I ain't seen no lost cat flyer anywhere, and I'm not claiming the cat, but you know, it's nice to have around. I mean, Lucy's kind of getting used to having her around. She's still a little feisty, but Meow, you don't give a damn. But you, because I feed all the cats, I feed this cat too. You're taking up my money, bud. Yeah, this cat's chilling. Anyways, guys, we got the header on, right? Looks really good. Nice and sleek, having it Cerakoted black instead of the silver. And I think it's gonna flow really nicely because the intake is, I don't know if you guys can see it right there. It is Ringo black. And then we have the carbon cover that goes right here, which is also black. It's gonna be, I guess it's gonna flow really nicely with the engine bay. Black throttle body, black fuel rail, black lines. Now I will say I made a boo-boo. I had the header Cerakoted with the hardware on, and the Cerakote got in between the threads, pulled it off, snapped the nut right here, and had to find a right length bolt to secure the downpipe onto the header. But I was fortunate I had one, so I did attach the down pipe already on there. It is secured with the other Allen key, because once I snapped that first one, I wire wheeled the other one and I was able to get it on. So down pipe installed, not going anywhere. And right now I am going to figure out how to get a transition from the V-band to the 3-bolt. I mean, I know how I'm going to do it. I just gotta start cutting up some pies and get this angle right, and then we'll weld everything up. A couple 3-bolt flanges right here. I believe these are the same, so I just gotta, I guess I'll use one of these, or actually I'll use this one because this one has a transition on it. And then what I was going to do was, I thought I had a spare V-band clamp because I didn't want to use the brand new one since we are doing the transition on it. Right here, this is a brand new one that came with the header. But this cat, she was up there the other day and I was like, okay, I hear the bell, but where are you? And then she was sitting up there, kind of scary. Anyways, so I was gonna use a V-band flange, a used one, make a, you know, adapter to the current exhaust. So it looks like I'm just gonna use the V-band that came with the header. And what I'm gonna do is, instead of putting the transition right off this V-band, which is what I was gonna do with a used flange, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna weld stainless on here, straight stainless, and then put the transition on top of that. So when he goes to the muffler shop, just tell him to cut where the two material meets and then build the exhaust off the straight stainless that's gonna be on the V-band. So I need to find some materials real quick, and then we'll get to fitting up this to the current exhaust system. This may be better if I tack this one on to this piece first, so that way I'm worried about only aligning one side. Okay, let's do that. All right, take two. So right now I'm prying the exhaust because I kind of want the test pipe to be straight instead of it being at a weird angle. And like I said, this is temporary anyways, because the muffler shop is going to have to cut right here where it goes from stainless to mild, and then build the new 3-inch exhaust all the way back starting here. So all this doesn't matter after, but So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this off, tack weld it, adjust it, test fit it, make sure it's all good and dandy, and then we'll pick back up with you guys when we weld this entire thing up. So all 3 holes on the 3-bolt flange lines up. V-band is on. This is all tacked up. Now I'm gonna go ahead and weld this up. All right guys, so I finished welding this test pipe a little while ago. Still pretty warm. I have the V-band flange clamped to the bottom to kind of absorb the heat so it doesn't like warp the flange. Same on the top right here. Now the welds came out pretty damn good to me, right? Except the top one right here. The reason why is because I don't know if you can see the taper on the edge, right? Because this is bigger than this tube and it was a fat gap to try to fill. I tried to hammer it in to close the gap up, but I mean, it was starting to like, you know, change the shape of the circular tube. So I just kind of dabbed it up and it looks kind of blotchy, not gonna lie. So while the test pipe is drying, I am going to install the intake back onto the car. I did reassemble it. I currently have an old Spectra filter, super nasty. I'm probably gonna order a vibrant or a K&N and change it later, but for right now this will do. The IAT sensor is back on with the grommet right there, right? And the wrinkle came out pretty decent, right? It came out pretty decent, and for some reason every time I do wrinkle, it's always that one spot somewhere that's like a glossier than the rest. So this is the top part right here that you're gonna visibly see. Probably gonna bother me, but you know what, it is what it is. Probably just gonna install this and leave it as is. Probably gonna come back out when we do the filter, but that's probably gonna be whenever that shows up, or whichever one I decide to go with. But as far as I've been told, vibrant or K&N is definitely gonna be a lot better than that Spectra. So this goes on like that, worm clamp and IAT sensor right here. Make sure it clicks. There we go. So we had the test pipe installed, everything went in smoothly, and I will say there is no gasket right here, but I mean, if this is going to change, it wouldn't matter anyways. There wouldn't be a flange here. It'll be the V-band resonator if my brother chooses to, and then straight all the way back to a new muffler. Now while I'm down here installing this test pipe, I was like thinking to myself, would the supercharger make power on the 2.5 exhaust, or just go full 3? Because I remember this car making like 250 or something like that, restricting with the stock exhaust. I don't know why we sent the car over to LDL with the stock exhaust, but we took the exhaust off and the car made like 287 or something like that. And my brother did the 2.5 exhaust like after the dyno, and has been on the 2.5 exhaust since 2017. And obviously we went to the dyno recently with the previous setup before all the mods with this exhaust, and it made like 263, which is kind of low. But now that we have all the upgrades on the car installed, I'm debating on either just tuning it with the 2.5 to see what it does, and if it restricts, take off the exhaust and do open header at the V-band here, or just go 3-inch off the bat and just tune the car with full exhaust 3-inch without touching anything before or after the dyno. So I'm gonna have to call my tuner and consult, but regardless, this is on for now, and we'll figure everything else out after, you know, our conversation. But grab all my tools and roll out of here. So as super duper late right now. I was on the phone for 2.5 freaking hours, and I guess what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this car to the dyno shop with a 2.5 exhaust. We're really just gonna experiment with it and see what it does with the supercharger. And worst case scenario, pop the exhaust off. We'll tune it with an open 3-inch downpipe. And guy told me to make an adapter, get another V-band, make like a 45 to kick it, kind of like at least 12 inches or a foot, you know, 1.5 of pipe to kind of mimic an exhaust, and then we'll tune it like that. He said that you know, open 3-inch downpipe with a 3-inch exhaust, it shouldn't change much at all. So we're gonna experiment with that. If it does well in 2.5, we'll keep it 2.5. If it does well with the 3, then we'll change to a 3 exhaust after the dyno. So I was gonna do a little more today, but honestly, on the top end, we're golden up here. I think I was going to do something with the radiator, you know, figure out a different position or different style radiator, but this has been working perfectly fine for his setup. It hasn't really overheated or anything. I wanted to do a shroud really, but if you look down at the bottom, you probably can't see it, but the fan is almost kissing the clutch sleeve, but if it stays kicked back, it doesn't touch. It's been like this since 2017, no issues whatsoever. What I was going to do today was switch over to the K24 pulley, which then I would need to get a new belt because we are max on the tensioner going down. So that means the bigger pulley would mean we need a bigger belt. So I got to really plan that all out because I'm trying to, you know, I got to figure out the belt size to keep this either half or lower because I don't want this to go up any higher into the hood. So a little more brainstorming with that before we change it out. And literally just this right here, this thing is pretty much ready to rock and roll. My brother does want to do a painted bar cover. We got to figure out a color for that. I don't know if I want to do a catch cam bung or not, but we'll figure that out as we go. Other than that, it just needs coolant and we could turn this car over. So I think as far as this video goes, we're gonna wrap it up. Man, I want to give a big shout out to the homie Carlo at Let Me Coat It for getting the Cerakote done so quickly on the S1 header. If you guys are interested in this, again, link in the description below. But if you guys need anything powder coated or ceramic coated or Cerakote, I don't know if it does ceramic coating, but Cerakote, all of the information to my boy Carlo is in the description as well too. But we're gonna wrap it up for tonight because, you know what I'm saying, my nephew got me some chicken like an hour ago and been on the phone for like 2.5 hours. So we're gonna wrap it up right here, guys. I hope you enjoy some progress update on my brother brown supercharged all-wheel drive wagon. You know, some progress on the S1 header. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for the dyno, because we're nearing and we're gonna schedule to get this car on the dyno soon, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you guys want to see all that good stuff. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. My face is hella white because of the light, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.